Now the game's simple. The best ones are. You want mercy? Play by the rules. Let the games begin. Anyways, hello YouTubers and welcome to Novus Talks with me, your host, Novus Scoris. So it feels like it's been ages since I did a video. The last one was E3, my reaction to E3 2019 Direct by Nintendo. So since it's been a while, I decided I won't do a recap video because it's been nearly 2 months now, so there's not really a point since everyone knows already what was there. But I decided I'll do something different for this video because I didn't know what to talk about for a while, so I'm going back to the movie section, and it is Saw. Probably my favorite horror movie franchise because they're all so brilliant and unique from each other, and they've all different twists and stuff, so there's a lot to enjoy in these movies. So I decided, and since there's some big enough news on it, it's really the only thing left I can talk about at the moment. So yeah, we're going to talk about so I'm going to recap. You might remember Jigsaw came out in 2017, October. It was sort of a reboot, you could call it, because it was the same continuity, but it was different, and there were some continuity problems, of course, but ultimately it's the same as the rest of them. And that set up, it left on a cliffhanger, like every other Saw movie, but it was different from the cliffhanger from Saw the Final Chapter, and so this was setting up a different story that could, if done correctly, tie in with the cliffhanger story from the end of Saw 7. And so with that, it was pretty obvious that there would be a Saw 9 at some point. And they were talking about it for months. Tobin Bell was getting divorced from his wife in, I think it was April of 2018, and his divorce papers said something about if he was doing a 9th Saw movie, she'd get half his earnings or something like that. And then Lionsgate said they'd like to do another Saw and that they had ideas for where they could take it. So we knew we were going to get another Saw movie. But then from about April of 2018 up until even May, June of this year, complete silence. And so it was kind of, a lot of us were wondering for a while whether this was happening anymore. Was there going to be another Saw movie? Will we ever get a conclusion? Will they ever make like 7 more sequels? You know, what's going on? And then we got quite the mother load of news. First of all, it was that Chris Rock came up to Lionsgate with a script that he'd written for Saw 9, or a reboot spin-off. I'll talk about that in a minute. But he came up with a script for the movie. Lionsgate liked it, and so really quickly, unless it was a couple of months before, on the spot, they pretty much started filming there and then. Chris Rock was in the movie. He's going to be in the movie, rather. And it was crazy because at the time, the writers of, I think it was Jigsaw, the Speed Brothers, have gone on to do the new Final Destination movie, which is also a reboot. So it was a weird time for Saw fans, but that came up, and then there was talk that this movie was going to be a spin-off. It's being labeled as a reboot, so I personally take it like Jigsaw, that it's going to be different. It's still going to be the same continuity, but they're going to do it different because the story of the first Saw is iconic. It's not really something you can do again. You know, it's like Jurassic Park or Star Wars. It's not a movie that's will ever be told again. There's no need to retell the literal exact same one. So it's iconic enough that there's no need for another one of the same one. So I definitely think it's going to be more like Jigsaw. But then the crazy news came in that Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie. Um, I was really blown away when I saw it because, I thought Anthony Hopkins being in Transformers was mental, but Samuel L. Jackson in a Saw movie was never expected, and so it's really interesting to see what he will be able to contribute to it. 'Cause, I mean, he's done a lot of movies, especially like action movies, and so to see him and his sort of personality in one of these situations will be kind of hilarious to see. There'll be a lot of motherfucker moments in this Saw, we know for sure. And it's probably going to be the most messed up one since, you know, written by comedians, so there, as Saw 2 says, there will be blood. But so that happened, and then it came out that Darren Lynn Bousman, who did Saw 2, 3, and 4, and I think 5, um, is back as the director for this one. And they started filming then about, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think they're in Canada, I might be wrong on that, but he's been very active on his Instagram, posting pictures from the set and from the filming, and so it's quite active right now. After a year of silence, they're going full out now with promoting this movie. So there's a lot to see. But that recap being said, it has raised the question of whether Tobin Bell will come back for the movie, since it is a Saw movie. He is the titular character. But at the same time, there's a couple of weeks of filming and there's been no sight of him, there's been nothing about him. So are they going to do it without him? Because if it's a spin-off, you can't really connect it to the main films without having John Kramer there. And so that leads me back to the whole thing about the divorce papers that was going on last year. It's possible Tobin Bell might be, if it's just a spin-off, then he might be there for like the very end of the movie or whatever, but there's still a bit of time left to see. The original release date of the movie was October 23rd, next year. But then Blumhouse came out with announcing 2 Halloween movies, Halloween Kills for October 2020 and Halloween Ends for Halloween 2021. And so they didn't want to compete Saw with Halloween, and so Saw is now currently scheduled for a May release. So it's coming a lot sooner, 10 months from now. So it's quite exciting, and it's still, as I keep saying, it's really weird going from this long period of dead silence to just full on straight into all of this. But like everyone, I'm really curious to see where this goes. It's Darren Lynn Bousman, so surely there will be a connection to the other Saw movies. And there was one picture he had up of several corpses that everyone's, myself included, is kind of looking at it and wondering, is it the corpse of Detective Mark Hoffman, who ties into Saw 7's ending, was chained up in the iconic bathroom and left to die, and then we didn't see him in Jigsaw, so we don't know if he died like Adam, or if he escaped, or where Dr. Gordon is gone. So those questions probably won't be answered. And I'm thinking if it's a spin-off, it's probably going to tie in more towards Logan, who's the accomplice at the end of Jigsaw, and where he was throughout the events of the other movies, because there's a bit of explaining needs to be done there, but who really knows? That could be like an end credits thing. It's very hard to tell. It is early days, but it's really intriguing to see what they're going to do with this movie. Are they going to do it in the style of the original 7 movies, like the fans want, or what are they going to do? Because Darren Lynn Bousman is back, so it is going to be more like the other ones. But again, it's too early to say, but I'm very intrigued to see about this. I never imagined Saw 9 would be going in this direction, but we've I think we'll only be able to judge when the trailer comes out, because Saw movies always only have one trailer. But and then I'm wondering, then are they going to go back to a yearly release? Is this going to be the last movie? Is the question. originally there was talk, I think it was when they were doing like Saw 2 or 3, that they might take it up to 10 movies. We're on the ninth one now, so I could see that. I saw at the end of Jigsaw potential for two more movies. The ninth one could tie into where Logan was during the events of the previous movie, or Hoffman. And then Saw 10 could have like the two of them go up against each other and then conclude it in a big way. Who knows? It's a really hard way to tell. Or else they'll go the full reboot section and same continuity, just ignore Jigsaw. Which, when I think about it, I am afraid they'll do that, but Darren Lynn Bousman did have an image on his Instagram of they were spray painting something that connected to, I think it was Saw 2. And people were saying something about the number 2 and 9 and there's a connection, so it's wild speculation at this point. It's going to be really interesting. This might be the one that revives the franchise, and even if 9 isn't going to be last when they do a 10, it'd be nice to have 10 come out for a 2021 release. Do it like what they did with the original 7, make it the next year, because I'd like them to go up to 10. I don't really see a need for them to go on to 11, 12, 13, but I like these movies. I'll watch it if they do, but it should come to an end eventually. There's a huge lore here, and it is, people complain that these films are obvious or there's no coherence to them, but it's one story. Like John Kramer died in 3, and then his accomplice was a man who died, and then 4 to 6 were about figuring out about Hoffman, that he was behind it, and then 7 was like everyone knew, everyone was after him then. It was like the final confrontation between him and Jill Tuck. And then obviously 8 went back and tried to explain who helped John with his traps. So it's like there is coherence there, and it's I'm really interested to see them take it out for 1 or 2 movies, because since Salt 9 came out of the blue, I don't think it could be the last one. It just came out of nowhere. It was like something that wasn't originally planned. So I don't think this could be the last one, because this Jigsaw brought it back from, Saw was gone for 7 years and then Jigsaw came out. So now I'm thinking Saw 9 is going to be the same thing. It brings everyone back, because it's 2 years since the last one. It'll be 3 years when this comes out. But yeah, I'd say bring it up to 10 and leave it. There's no need. They'll probably set up something to go beyond, but it's like it's trying to compete with Fast and Furious for the number of sequels, but I don't mind it. And that's something I'll do with the next one, actually. My next movie video, or at least my next Saw video, because I will do more videos on this. I'll rank all 8 of the previous movies, just to because we're in deep end now, and so we're gonna have updates regularly, so who knows, my channel could get dominated by Saw over the next few months, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Let the games begin. But I do have one other movie video plan that's not related to Saw. I don't want to say what it is yet, but no one is expecting me to talk about this particular movie. As for other video game videos I'll go into in the future, I'm trying to see where it goes at the moment. I just wanted to get this video done because I felt like there was a lot to talk about and a lot to cover. I was going to do this video originally when they were saying Chris Rock was now on board, but then as more news came out fairly quickly, I was like, I'll leave it till now, so I have a broad range of things to cover and to update everyone on. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you a fan of Saw? Have you watched any of them? What do you think is going to happen in Saw 9? Is it a spin-off? Is it a full-on reboot? Will it continue the story of Jigsaw? Will it tie back to Saw the final chapter? Or how's it going to go? Make your choice. So yeah, don't know when I'm gonna do my next video. As you know, just kind of a bit of a gap lately between videos, but I didn't know for a while what I was gonna talk about, so that's why this happened. So I apologize for that, but I'm gonna try and get a more regular schedule if I can, at least for the remainder of the summer. But yeah, anyways, well, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. Nova Scorers out.